Hey, this is Shane, and I'm in my office, but actually, I'm in mixed reality right now, and I'm in a program called Figmin XR, which is incredibly cool. So I'm going to show you a couple things you could do with this. So I can paint in 3D space, right? And walk around it, look at it from different angles, but there's a lot more to Figmin than that. A while back, Google Tilt Brush became open source, and so Figmin brought all those cool tools into this. So I could light my record player on fire, which is kind of frightening, but you could do a lot more than that. So for example, let me open up this section here where I can search animated GIFs and bring them right into my 3D space. So I'm gonna look up fire, and yeah, this one looks pretty cool. I'll just drag that out and it'll load up. I'll resize it, and then I can place it right on my record player. And now it's on fire. Horrifying. So let's see what else we could do. I'm gonna go ahead and type in a record and see if they have something like that. Oh, look at that. We got animated records. So let me pull this one out here, see what it looks like. That is awesome. Let's get rid of this flame. And let's plop this down onto my turntable and see if it looks like there's actually a record spinning there. Hey, that's pretty cool. The coolest part about Figmin is that Sketchfab is linked right into it. And those of you who don't know Sketchfab, it's basically a space where you can upload 3D models. So there's lots of user content all over the place. And check this out. So for example, let me see if there's any good R2-D2 models here. There we go. So all I have to do is drag this out, and now we have R2-D2 in our room. A geek's paradise. And now this object, I'm going to go ahead and add some gravity to that. So let's turn physics on. He's going to fall to the ground. And then I can, just throw him around the room if I want. Take out some stress. So we're going to delete that. And what I'm going to do, just to demo a couple different tools in this application, is to create a 3D aquarium that is inside my wall. And I'll show you how this works. So for example, to start off, I'm just going to get the brush tool, make it a line, so I get a nice hard line. And I'm just using red because this is sort of a sketching process here. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure my frame up, right? Get all the edges there. So now that we have this frame selected out, I'm gonna grab my scene and squish it down. And now you can see that's my room right there, but it's really small. And so Figmin allows you to draw and paint and create on a different scale and then snap it back into place. So I'm going to go back into my paintbrushes, grab a really thick brush, and let's change this color here to some really dark black. All right, and now what I'm going to do here is paint a little box coming into the wall. So we're actually going back into space. All right, so I have a nice 3D cube that's going to be our fish tank here, and I'm just going to cover it with all black right now. All right, that just about does it. So now we have this nice little space, sort of a diorama that I can put things inside of, right? All right, and we didn't do that much, but I want you to see some magic. So if I go into scene, and I'm going to snap that back in place. But I'm also going to turn off room mapping here. And now look, we have this diorama that goes back into our wall. But the problem is, if I walk over here, the illusion is ruined, right? Because I could see through the wall, and that's not how it should be. But check this out. Figmin has a really cool brush that basically hides things behind it. So as an example, I'm just going to pick some really blunt color like that, and just put some ink down like that, okay? So now if I go in and grab this invisible brush at the way end, if I use the invisible brush to paint anywhere, it hides what's behind it, right? So I can peek around and see the painting, but not when that brush is in the way, right? And so what I'm going to do now is basically block off everything around this wall, so all you see is that cube in the center. Awesome. So I'm going to snap that back in place, and now I'll just remove this room here, and there we go. Now we have this pretty cool illusion and you can't see behind. So it actually looks like it's inside of that frame, right? Really cool. It's looking good, but we need to add some fish here. So I'm going to go back here, go into Sketchfab, and let's get rid of R2-D2 and find a fish. This is a pretty nice looking fish. So I'm going to plop that out. It'll load, and there's our fish, right? So let me resize this, scale it down a bit, push it out there, and kind of place it into the tank somewhere that I think looks good. And all right, so now we need some nice plant life. Let's get some seaweed going here. So I'll pick a little brighter green. And let's see how this looks. Oh yeah, that's nice, right? So let's put some of those inside of there. So I'll just paint some nice seaweed here. And now what I'm going to do is, I almost forgot that there's actually a bubble brush. So where is that? It might be on the next page. There it is, bubbles. So check this out. Let me change my color to blue. And watch this. Now I can literally paint bubbles into 3D space. So what I'm going to do to make this illusion look a little better is kind of just fill it with bubbles. That way, you get that feel of water a little better. All right, and here is our final piece, right? Nice and 3D. And now what we're going to do is set it back into its place. So I'll go to center scene, reset. And now, look at that. I have this aquarium coming out of the frame in my wall. And again, you can step to the side and you can't see behind it. So it really creates that illusion in a nice way. And remember, this is just a quick example to show you guys how this application works. But if you get really into this, you can spend hours and make really neat stuff. So yeah, that's about it. Again, this is Figmin XR, and it's on the Quest 3 in mixed reality, and it's so fun. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Bye!